welcome to the first video on this channel. I am Miss Madness. I am currently having an avatar in the making, so that is why I'm currently using this avatar. And any of the other avatars you might be used to me probably wearing through my TikTok and such. Like, I'm more trying to get the feel out, trying to just look more casual, I guess, and not just give off, like, weird vibes on, like, the first video that I put out on this channel. But later on, as we go, you will see me start using different avatars. Might be funny ones, might be ones you guys don't like, and if you don't like them, well, that's too bad, because I like them, and it's my channel, my rules. So, yeah. Anywho, we're going to get started with today's video. I did a post where I said a little birdie told me that I should do a deck profile video of a deck that I used to get first place against 28 people in a tournament. Like, there were 28 people at this Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I got first place with this deck. And the even better thing is, the reason I'm doing it in VR chat is because I thought, you know what? Why not something different? Why not use a world where you can actually come in here and actually play Yu-Gi-Oh, you know? So I thought, yeah, let's do that. Let's make a Yu-Gi-Oh video, a deck profile video, where I can have the cards just all displayed out. It'll be easier to keep up with and everything. All of that. So, yeah. Anywho, let's get started. So the deck that I used was Floowandereez. And I'm sure I can hear you all saying, what? Floowandereez in 2025? No way. Yes way. Like, no joke. I used Floowandereez to literally get first place against 28 people. I used it to take down Vanquish Soul decks, not Ryziel decks, blah. But Vanquish Soul decks, as well as a Mermail deck. And then I went up against, like, some deck, like, it was a mixture of apparently Buster, Blader, and Blue Eyes White Dragon. I don't know what that deck really was, in all fairness. I'm not going to talk crap about other people's decks or anything. I'm not that mean. Okay? So, yeah. Like, it was interesting to see at a tournament. That's what I more mean by it. But anywho, so what I was using was I run 1 of Snowls, 2 Endpens, 3 Robinas, 3 Eaglins, 3 Strice, 2 Toucans, a Ryza the Mega Monarch, Dimension Shifter, and a Mist Apex Avian. Those are the monsters that I use. Since Dimension Shifter is limited to 1, it doesn't really impact the deck. It's just still there just to kind of flex on people, I guess, and be like, hey, I got the 1 of. You can't really do much graveyard effects now for a whole turn. Have fun. And the even funnier thing is, these cards, it doesn't matter, like, Robina, Eaglin, Stry, and Toucan, it does not matter if they get banished. Their effects say that they come back whenever a winged beast monster is summoned. So you summon Snowl, Empen, any of these other ones, or even Ryza, or even Mist Apex Avian, they come right back to the hand. Like, it just happens. And all this deck is just based around is just normal summons. So even if they lock you out of special summons, that does not even matter either. Your deck's mainly normal summoning. And you can't even special summon either because that's part of the effects anyways, where it says, when you play these cards this turn, you cannot special summon any monsters. You cannot special summon any monsters the turn you decide to play these cards. So, you can't special summon before or even after. That's why the Pot of Dualities and Pot of Prosperities, those are also good in the deck. I believe it's Pot of Duality that says that you cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card. I'm pretty positive. I can double check here. Yeah, you cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card. And this one is Let's see here. Any opponent takes is halved. Any damage they take is halved. And then, yeah. You don't need to... You cannot draw cards after you play Pot of Prosperity, though. But that's the funny thing of Pot of Duality. It's you lay down 3 cards and you just take 1. It's not even a draw effect. None of these are really draw effects except for Unexplored Winds. Unexplored Winds is where you place one of these Winged Beast monsters. You can show up to 2, but you can also place 1 on the bottom of your deck and draw however many you put at the bottom of the deck. And Advent of Adventures, they are good as well for sure, because you gain life points from it, and then you can get one of these Floowandereez guys. Or you can go and get a map. But you also gotta banish one of the Floowandereez as well, too. You don't have to banish one of the Floowandereez, you have to banish a Winged Beast monsters. Sorry about that. I'm getting myself a little mixed up and such. It's late where I'm at. I meant to get this video out earlier, and I was like, I've been watching JoJo's all day, everybody. I'm sorry. So yeah, don't mind me too much. I'm gonna be tripping on my words and all that. But yeah, Unexplored Winds, what it does is if you're able to draw that card, that's gonna be a fun card, and you want to play that almost immediately. The reason why is because as you're doing all these normal summons, you can use that card to also tribute one of any card on your opponent's side of the field. Literally, any card. It does not target. It just says, basically select one card you control and one card your opponent controls, tribute them both to summon them, to tribute summon a monster. And that's pretty good, because you can tribute away their trap card, their field spell, any card on your opponent's side of the field. And if they get rid of it, it's non-targeting. At least I'm pretty sure it's non-targeting. Yeah, it's just one card your opponent controls. So it's literally non-targeting. So if they take away that target, I'll just choose a new target then, you know? So yeah, that's the lovely thing about that card. And then we got Triple Tactics Thrust. I run 2 of them. The reason being is because then I can set stuff like Countergate, Terraforming, any normal spell or trap, even Harpy's Featherstorm. That is the lovely thing about Triple Tactics Thrust. You just can't activate it during the turn you set it. So you can still use Triple Tactics Thrust. The only time when you can, though, is if your opponent activates a monster effect. So if they activate, like, say, Ash Blossom on your turn, you can use it. And then you can basically just grab any normal spell or trap. And the normal spell or traps that are in this deck, you've got Pot of Prosperity, Pot of Dualities, you've got Harpy's Feather Duster, Terraforming, Dreaming Town, Infinite Imperms, Countergate, and Harpy's Featherstorm. So you can literally choose any of those using Thrust. And then the Pot of Dualities and Pot of Prosperities are just for draw power. Maps are lovely to have as well too. You draw one of those, it's also going to be fun. Because what they do is when you play it on the field, you can essentially normal summon on your opponent's turn if your opponent normal summons. So when your opponent normal summons, you get to normal summon now. And then, say you activate it on your turn, what you can do is you can reveal any one of these Floowandereez cards, and then banish any Floowandereez card. And then you get to, and it normal summons the one you revealed. And then after you normal summon it, what's usually fun is if you normal summon one of these, then you can activate their effect as Chainlink 1, and if you have one of these banished, Chainlink 2, and you get that card right back. It's also good to use because I believe it can also stop, like, people from chaining, like, say, Ash Blossom or stuff like that, too. Because you can't chain Ash Blossom to a previous chain, if I'm correct. So, like, if I'm doing that wrong, you can quote me on that. And I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But yeah, like, I haven't seen anybody really do that against me. Now, people have done, like, imperms and stuff because it's like, yeah, you can chain imperms. You're targeting a monster on the field, and that's a monster on the field. Same thing with, like, Effect Veiler, I believe, or, like, they can't do Drone Lockbird, though. They gotta do that after resolution, essentially. So, yeah. Anywho, and then Called by the Grave is a must-have, especially if you get Ash Blossom, because then you can just go, Called by, and still keep popping off on this deck. And then Harpy's Feather Duster, I put it in the deck as well, too, because sometimes the opponent will just line up that back row, and it's like, alright, Harpy's Feather Duster. And hopefully I put it in a column where an infinite imperm would be essentially at, because then they'll try and use imperm, and it'll be like, you can't though, I have no monsters on the field. Most of the time. Terraforming is also good, because then you can grab one of the maps. Same thing with Advent of Adventures, like, you've got literally 4 searches to get that map. Dreaming Town is also good to have. The reason why is because when it's in the graveyard, like, first, when you activate it, you're able to normal summon. You go normal summoning your monsters, and you go through that whole combo again, essentially. And say you only go through half the combo, but you still have the other 2 cards in your hand, so you can just keep still going, essentially. You can still do that, too. Just use Dreaming Town to finish off the combo, essentially. Or continue on with the combo. But, like, when it's in the graveyard and such, if you have Empin or Snow or Ryza or Apex Avian on the field, you can use that card's effect to banish itself and flip all your opponent's monsters face down defense mode. Basically, Book of Eclipsing them. So, no, wait, not Book of Eclipse, Book of Mooning them. I am sorry, everyone, for how my words have been skipping. And now, Scary Sea. The fun thing about Scary Sea, it helps lock your opponent out of special summoning for the entire turn, but gives them 3 normal summons. And if you have map on the field, that's where Scary Sea really comes into play really well. Whenever I usually bring out Empin and such, I usually go for Scary Sea because I usually have map or Unexplored Winds on the field. Or I have a Dreaming Town face down. But the reason I go for Scary Sea is because most meta deck these days require to mainly focus on special summoning. So if they link summon or do any more inherit summons instead of effect summons, where it's like, I reveal this card to banish this to special summon it, you can't use Scary Sea on that. But if they link summon or they use something like Chaos Dragon Levianeer or Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning, where you banish those 3 cards to summon, you can use Scary Sea on that, negate that special summon, because it's an inherit summon. And I don't fully know the difference between inherit summon and effect summon. All I know is effect summon is basically done by effect, where it's a you can type of term instead of a you must. If you want a more detailed explanation on it, I would suggest looking it up on Google and such. I'm sure somebody would explain it much more better than me, in all fairness. But yeah, Scary Sea, if they link summon, you can activate that, and they cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. No special summoning whatsoever. It locks them out of their extra deck. They don't get the monster that they were trying to special summon, and they can't even affect special summoning either. It says no special summoning whatsoever now. Done. Nada. Imperms. Imperms are a must-have in a lot of decks these days. And they have been... They actually saved me during the duel where I got first place with. because I put it in the middle column, and then this person playing Vanquish Soul tried to activate Stake Your Soul in the same column after I already used Imperm, and I was like, oh, that's the column that Imperm was in. And then they looked down and they were like, well, yep, that is, well, screw me, I guess. And he pitched it. And yeah, he basically decided to go, yeah, you got it, you win. And yeah, I got first place through it. So if I would have had that Imperm in place, I probably could have lost right there. He still was mainly saying, yeah, the Impin was screwing him over, because Impin, what it does is when it's face up on the field, any face up special summon attack position monsters, and I have to be clear on when I say this, face up special summoned attack position monsters cannot activate their effects when Impin is on the field. No matter what. So he couldn't really get over that. He would have to try and special summon in face up defense mode, or XYZ summon in defense mode, etc. And Impin also makes it to where you can banish one card, cut the opponent's attack and defense in half. Snow does something similar where you banish, but you flip all the opponent's monsters into face down defense mode. Basically Book of Mooning as well too. Countergate. The reason I have this card in the deck is because, I haven't been able to really fully use it, but what it does is if your opponent attacks you directly, and say you, brick with the hand for this deck, but you have that face down, say they attack you directly, with how many monsters there are, you have a good chance of possibly drawing one of those monsters. So you can actually, because what it does, I believe it negates the attack too. Negate the attack, and if you do, draw one card. Then if it is a monster, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon it and face up attack position. The reason why that card is in there is so if you draw into any of these, one, you negated an attack, either way. So, and you get a draw. And you probably, he'll probably still have, maybe two other monsters on the field or something like that. It just depends on the situation. But if you're able to use that and get any of those, you can go full combo. You can just normal summon it, and then immediately after you normal summon it, you can use its effect, and immediately after the effect's resolved, you can keep on normal summoning it. And so that's the good thing about it. And if you have Countergate and say Unexplored Winds on the field, that does even better, because if you draw into Eaglin, you can summon that Eaglin and bring out an Impin or an Apex Avian or Ryza just by tributing away two cards on the field. So that's even better. And this card has so many uses. That's why I saw fit to put it in the deck, in case I get attacked directly and I have a chance to possibly save myself from from getting destroyed, essentially. Now, I will admit, some of the times, they might have an Omni Negate on the field, and then it's like, well, that kind of screws me over. So yeah. And then Heartbeast Featherstorm, that card does so much good stuff on it. When you have a Wing-a-Beast monster, which can be Eaglin, Toucan, Ryza, Impin, and Apex Avian, you have any of those on the field, you can activate this whenever your opponent activates an effect. This stops them from activating any effects for the rest of the turn. Literally. Just like, oh yeah, you're gonna activate an effect, I shall negate it, and you cannot activate any effects for the rest of the turn. Because that means that they can't just go, oh yeah, I'm gonna show this card in my hand and use its effect. You cannot. That is activating an effect. It gets negated, no matter what. The only effects that can happen are more continuous effects, like with Impin per se. That's a continuous effect. it's always like, when it's in the monster zone, any special summon attack position monsters that the opponent summons, they're just negated. Unless they play a card like, say, Dark Ruler No More, which says negate all monster effects on your opponent's side of the field, then they cannot, like, continuous effects, those are the only ones that still go through. But activated effects, that means stuff like if they try and use Bestials, they cannot do that, because those are activated effects. Like, their summon is an effect to summon itself, that's an activated effect. That's how it locks out even Vanquish Soul decks quite a lot too, because it's a lot of activated effects as well too. Same thing with Mermail. That's a lot of activated effects. Most meta deck these days are activated effects. So that's the lovely thing about it. Now, onwards to the extra deck. Here is how I have the extra deck. The main cards to mainly focus on are the ones like the Chimera Techs over to the SP Little Knight. Those cards are more important. The rest of these, you can put whatever you want in it. I just put random gibberish stuff in it because that's more fodder for the Pot of Prosperity. These can just get banished and it's whatever. The Chimera Techs, I have those in place because I've faced Cyber Dragons before. Those actually come in handy. Because if they play like stuff like Clockwork Knight, I can't really do much with it unless I have a way to do still a full combo. Because Clockwork Knight, it turns all my monsters into machine type monsters. That's an issue for me. Because then my banished Floowandereez cards cannot come back to my hand because I am not summoning a Winged Beast. I am summoning a machine type, essentially. So, a lot of times, I don't even summon when they fill up their field. And I'll just basically contact fuse and fuse away a lot of their monsters. Set down some traps, like, say, like, whatever I can, basically, like imperms, stuff like that. It's hard to really go up against Cyber Dragons, especially when Clockwork Knight is one of the cards that literally shuts down a lot of decks. But yeah, but that's why I have those in there, because then I can at least clear their board most of the time, and they can't do anything about it. Because contact fusing, what it does is you just say that you're contact fusing, and you fuse away their board. They cannot activate monster effects in response to the contact fusing. If they have graveyard effects, they can most likely activate those. But against contact fusing, when you're contact fusing, they cannot activate anything on that. Unless it's a card that says that you cannot fusion summon or anything like that. Like, for instance, Dimensional Barrier and Call Fusions. Then you cannot do that. So that's the only way. And then the SP Little Knight in there, I haven't been able to use it, but that's, like, that would be more of if I really need it for the next turn after I've summoned an entire board, and I need something to really just help, essentially. Now, in the side deck, okay, I guess it'll show the side deck at the bottom as well as the entire deck. I don't know why it does that. But basically, I have 3 DD Crows. I run with those because those can also be used as well too. They're still Winged Beast monsters, and some of the effects in here call for Winged Beast. They don't call for a specific attribute. For instance, the Unexplored Winds. That's just Winged Beast. Same thing with the Droll and Lockbirds. Now, effect veilers are usually there if I really need monster negates. Prohibition, that's just a funny card that I have in the side deck that I have gotten off on people before. And honestly, it's kind of funny. It really is. You just, like, in the next game, you just side that in, and the card they mainly need to use, if you go first, play Prohibition and be like, yeah, I'm gonna call this card. And then they can't play it throughout the entire duel as long as that's face up. So they need to find a way to get rid of that first to be able to use their combo. So that also shuts down a deck pretty heavily as well too. Swallow's Cavalry, I recently saw like a reason to have these in a deck. I just don't fully use them because you still gotta be able to tribute summon. And if you don't got a card in your hand to be able to tribute summon, like it's not gonna help. March of the Monarchs. That card is also fun because like it can be definitely used when people use cards like Dark Hole or Raigeki or anything like that. Because this card actually protects your tribute summon monsters from getting destroyed. That is literally its effect. It literally says you cannot destroy tribute summon monsters. Like my tribute summon monsters. The only thing that's the downside to it is they can still banish or remove from play or send a card to the graveyard. If those cards say that type of stuff, then this can't really do much against it. But if it says destroy, this card protects them. Evenly matched. I run at least 2 of them in the side deck. I forget if it's limited and such. But even still, like, a lot of times I just put a bunch of random things in my extra deck. Like, I forget if it's limited or not. I will double check, in all fairness. Plus, I wasn't really looking at my deck too much. I basically was just going off with what I believe I had as well, too. Let me double check that, though. Yugioh ban list 2025. Double checking. Evenly match, where are you? Yeah, evenly matched is not limited. So yeah. But yeah, I just have 2 in the deck, basically. Because, in the side deck, basically. Because, why not? Like, it's not bad. Plus, I just need stuff to just be in the side deck. Plus, a lot of times I just put stuff in the side deck just because why not? Like, I literally even have a ghost rare, a German ghost rare in it at the moment because I also picked it up that day, too. So, yeah. But basically, that's the deck list. This is the deck that I used to literally get first place in a 28-person tournament. And with how a lot of meta decks are these days, this deck still comes out on top, in all fairness. Like, it shuts down special summons, it shuts down at effects, it shuts down so many things, and it helps a whole lot. Because the new meta deck these days, they're mainly focused around the special summoning, the effects, etc. And Floowandereez, I've played it for a while and such, and it still does good, even in 2025. Even if they limited D-Shifter, here's the thing, they can even fully ban D-Shifter, but D-Shifter ain't even the problem for this deck. D-Shifter is just an extra card, essentially. Like, people complaining about D-Shifter saying, oh, they need to ban it, there's really no reason, in all fairness. Like, sure, a lot of decks can still use it for, like, bigger benefits type of thing, but there's really no reason. Like, D-Shifter can be worked around, you can call by it, it's still got a heavy limitation because your graveyard needs to be cleared, etc. As long as the graveyard is clear, then you can use D-Shifter. But if the graveyard isn't, then there's no reason why it should be banned. and people just complain about it being that it needs to be banned and such. It's probably the reason why Konami even made it limited in the first place, going like, oh yeah, like, we'll just limit it to where we're just gonna try and make you all happy, but no, y'all still get salty over that stuff. Now, some other decks, I can agree why they would need to, like, limit some of the things in it. For instance, the Snake Eye stuff, the Tenpai stuff, Yugioh, etc. But the next archetype that's coming out is going to be all-around Mystical Space Typhoon, so y'all are going to have fun with that one. Everybody's going to get screwed over, get their stuff negated, all of that. And we're going to have a new archetype for people to just complain about, essentially. So, yeah. Anyhow, that is today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you like seeing a deck profile in a more different way than probably a lot of people do it then. So, yeah. If you want to, you can follow my TikTok. I will have it linked in the description below. I will also have... I don't know if I'll have anything else linked below. I don't know, should I link anything else below? I don't think I need to. I'll mainly just link my TikTok below. If anybody wants to go check it out and such. And yeah, if you guys don't like the avatars I wear on TikTok as well, suck it up. Who cares? Like, this is gonna be my channel, and I'll do whatever I want on it in all fairness. Just like the TikTok channel is my channel, I'll do whatever I want on it as well too. So yeah. Again, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment what deck profile I should probably even do next as well too. I'll see if I can find a friend that can explain it very well and explain it for me and such as well too. As well as try to keep it short and simple. I'm sorry that I didn't keep mine short and simple as well. Like, it's my first time trying to do it in VR chat, in all fairness. So, yeah. Like, first video on a completely new account. Yeah. So, yeah. And plus, not even gonna edit the video. I'm just trying to keep things as together as possible. No edits, so you guys see what happens in between stuff. Unless something really bad happens that I do need to edit it out. And yeah, I will try to also play some other games. I'll try to keep my channel probably organized through like playlists of me playing other games and such. Who knows? But I will be trying my best to make this channel look as clean and organized as possible as well too. And yeah, I'm sorry for delaying the end of the video as well again. But yeah, we'll end it here now. Thank you so much for watching again. Sorry that I'm repeating myself. Like, subscribe, share the video, comment what deck profile you want me to do next, or even if you want to see me play this deck in some duels and such. So yeah, see you all around. Bye!